It is day 43, 5:14 a.m., and it has just been a couple hours since Makosi was last evicted from the celebrity Big Brother UK All-Stars house. Now, due to the last task of Battle of the Bands, the losing band, which is all of the girls, are now being placed in what is going to be called the cottage. It is located past the task room where the lab used to be. However, it has been completely redecorated into the cottage, complete with a cow outside. We have bunnies and birds. Inside, it's completely hideous, basically, full of knickknacks and clashing colors, clashing furniture, all kind of thrown around in here to look almost like your grandma's house, almost, but with a weird twist. Unfortunately, though, it has been a little bit run down. So there are multiple homes for mice. So mice are crawling around all over the floors, not to mention all the animals outside that now have to be taken care of. We see that all the girls are kind of just chatting, talking about what's happened, talking about Makosi leaving. And we see that Josie lights up the fireplace. She kind of sets the mood, gets the place a little bit warm, and everyone settles down around the living room and kind of chats. It looks as though Makosi is pretty upset. However, everyone else seems to be getting in a little bit of a better mood. However, over in the main house, all the boys plus Allison are all hanging out, relaxing in their luxurious home. We see that Allison seems to be baking a cake in celebration, while it looks as though Brian, Luke, and Craig are just kind of standing around. All of them seem to be a little bit bored, not too sure what to do with themselves. This place really does feel huge whenever you take a big chunk of Houseguest out of here. And so they're all just kind of chatting. It looks as though Craig is talking on the phone. For some reason, all of the Houseguests love that mirror in the kitchen. All of them are constantly going over there, standing in front of it. It's really strange. I don't really know what that's about. But it looks as though Allison's hamburger cake is done, and that kind of grabs everyone else's attention. We see that Ryland and Cameron were sitting on the couch talking, but they soon head right into the kitchen. Of course, Cameron goes over to the bar, as that's his go-to area in the house, and starts making some drinks for everyone as well. Back in the cottage, we see that not only do the girls have to take care of rabbits, cows, birds, mice, but we also have a pet over here. It's one of those weird purple-horned platypus-looking things. It always reminds me of a creature from Harry Potter. But we also have that over here that has to be taken care of as well. And Davina is the first house guest I had over there. Give him some food, start talking to him. It's always funny to see them talk to these pets while mice are crawling around all around the floor. At 10:37 in the main house, it looks as though Pete has put on a face mask and is also doing some laundry out in the garden. They do have access to the washer and dryer. However, I feel as though doing the laundry outside just kind of gives them something to do. Maybe he's bored and that was just something that could really pass the time. It looks as though Cameron has picked up a book and is doing some reading. Meanwhile, Allison and Ryland are finally digging into that hamburger cake she made and slowly but surely sitting down at the table and enjoying it. Over at the cottage, however, it looks as though our cow is enjoying some grass, and Josie heads over and makes her way to the cow to kind of make sure it's feeling good and everything. She was originally heading over to stare at something in the bathroom before canceling that and then heading over to the cow. But she goes over to the cow. He's a little bit dirty, or she's a little bit dirty, and she cleans him up, brushes her, and hugs her, just kind of like really loves up on the cow, makes me feel a lot better. And I love the cows in the game. I personally want cows in real life. I've always loved cows. I think they're so cute. I've looked into owning a cow, how much they are, how much land they need, how much milk they produce. Like, Like, I've looked into so much about it, what kind of cow breed I want. So I'm really into cows. And I think it's a high possibility in the future I would have one personally. So this would be a treat for me if I was able to have a cow in the Big Brother house. Like, I'd be like, don't worry, girls. Like, I'm going to brush the cow. I'm going to feed the cow. I'm going to milk the cow. I'm going to devote my day to this cow. Like, that's plans made. And look how happy it is. So cute. I love it so much. And then I like this little shot. We see that all of the ex-house guests still haven't left since the eviction. They won't leave for some reason. I keep telling them to shoo. They won't. So all of them are kind of just talking to hot dogs behind the camera runs. But of course, our house guest on the other side of those mirrors cannot see or hear them at all. They have no idea what's going on, that their ex-house guests are just a few feet away from them. While Charley is eating some snacks inside, Josie, once finished with the cow, has grilled up some food. Davina was a little bit late on helping her fix it, but of course she still has to throw some spice on the ground for good luck. I don't know. But everyone comes out to the garden and grabs a serving. Meanwhile, Isabelle breaks in that bathroom. Back in the main house, Ryland is out in the garden. He's still wearing the suit from the eviction, and him talking on the phone especially just gives me major businessman vibes. However, we see that once Pete was done washing the clothes, he didn't bother hanging them up, so Ryland's going to go ahead and do that for Pete. At 1:06 p.m., Davina is still trying to help with the cooking over in the cottage. Unfortunately for her, though, the cooking has been done for like 30 plus minutes now. No one's even eating the food anymore. Everyone's just kind of standing around and talking, but she's still trying to cook until, unfortunately, nature calls and she has to go use the bathroom instead. However, back over in the main house, I've gone ahead and did some rearranging with the place to make it a more luxurious vibe. I've gone ahead and replaced the benches in the bathroom with the new massage chairs that were included in the spa day update. And I've also included some massage tables outside of the bathroom as well. So we're going to go ahead and break those in. We have Cameron coming outside and approaching Ryland and asking him if he will give him a massage. Unfortunately, though, I'm not hiring any masseuse. So they are just gonna have to do it themselves, and none of them have the skill points, so there's no guarantee that this is actually going to feel good for Cameron, but Ryland's gonna give it his best shot. And then also in the bathroom, Craig is going to try his hand at massaging Pete's feet. However, that doesn't look to be going as well as the massage going on outside. At 3:33 p.m., the tiredness from staying up so late the night before is really settling in over here in the cottage. We see that Josie has fallen asleep in the bathroom. Meanwhile, most of the girls are gathered around the dining room table, still snacking and eating the meal that Josie had made a little bit earlier. They are kind of like doing some cleaning, walking around. We see that Davina is going in and out doing chores, while our little cow is just living his best life, and Isabelle eventually makes her way into the bedroom and takes a nap as well. We see that the tiredness is still going on in the main house as well. It's already in both houses. Allison, Ryland, Cameron, all napping in various locations around the house, while Luke goes into the sauna, strips down while everyone's asleep and won't bother him, and decides to relax in the nude now that it's all clean and pristine and he can have it all to himself. I personally, any alone time I was able to have in the Big Brother house, if I wasn't with the cow, I would want to be in the sauna. We see that Craig has fallen asleep in the bedroom. Meanwhile, the only other two awake house guests are Allison and Brian. Allison seems to have woken up from the couch, and instead Pete has taken that spot and has gone to sleep over there. At 7:12 p.m., the cottage is really calming down. The sun is setting, and everything, especially all the excitement from the night before, has kind of made everyone just really want to relax. Unfortunately for Charley, she can't have any of that. She goes outside to light the fire and instead lights herself on fire. Thankfully, she is totally fine and okay, just a little bit burnt, and on her second try, she is able to successfully light it. That fire ends up drawing everyone else's attention, and they all end up heading outside and all gathering around the fire and cozying up to its warmth. Even though they're all still a bit tired, I think this is the perfect way for the girls to end their night over here in the cottage. And Charley begins to tell a story to everyone. However, my animations in my game are really glitchy, as you can see by Davina having difficulty sitting down on those hay bales. But Charley tries to tell a story of an heroic tale of girl power and how all of them are going to be able to suck it up and get through these next few days in the cottage. However, I really don't think it looks that hard. I mean, look behind them. There is 4 bunnies just chilling and staring at all of them. What a luxury. What a treat that looks like to me. I don't know. Over in the main house, everyone is feeling really relaxed. We see that Pete has just cooked up some food on the grill. Cameron is still chilling out and reading his book. And Luke has actually chilled out so hard, he is now fallen asleep in the hot tub. But it looks really relaxing and peaceful. They really are at a spa from the looks of it. Meanwhile, over in the cottage, Charley is trying to relax as well, trying to get that spa feeling on her own, and she ends up taking a dip into the hot springs and falling asleep. And that is where I'm going to end today's episode. I hope you guys are liking this new cottage twist. What do you think about the cottage that I've created? Again, I'm going to try to figure out a way to put it on the gallery. I'm still not too sure about that. However, stay tuned for I'm going to have another episode tomorrow where we have nominations.